So I wanted to ask you about the recent announcement there's going to be a fourth film. What are you guys doing in terms of universe building? This is second movie's old news at this point, right? We want to hear about the fourth. Like, you're building a universe here?
We're not going to go to the third. You're just going to jump over it and go to the fourth. Well, no. I mean, one of the things that was fun about, if you look at the comics, there's 50 years of comics, and there's so many little offshoots and off ramps and details and characters and things to explore, and rather than cram them all into one movie, I think there's enough material, obviously, to let that generate a sort of an ongoing series of stories. And I think there's also characters that are in the Spider-Man universe, whether it's Venom or the Sinister Six, or that have so much potential to carry their own cinematic universes.
So you just mentioned Venom and the Sinister Six, so I have to ask you, is it a realistic thing that we will see those characters at some point?
Well, I don't know, you'll have to wait and see. But if you pay attention in the second movie, you might get some indications of what's to come.
And fans have noticed that we have the Rhino, we have Electro, we have various and sundry potential goblins as well. Do you worry about villain fatigue or villain overload?
No, I mean, really, the central villain in this movie is Electro. And that's the person that Spider-Man has to defeat and confronts him in a way that he's never been confronted before. And I think the Rhino makes it a couple appearances in the movie, but it's really our main focus is Electro, which I think is a incredibly appreciated villain. I mean, if you really think about Electro, he is godlike. You know what I mean? He's somebody who, when you come into contact with him, will send the electricity of 1,000 third rails railing through your body, and it'll obliterate you. I mean, how do you fight that? Especially when your webs are conduct electricity. How do you fight somebody who can disappear into an electrical socket? I mean, it's a really kind of interesting villain.
Yeah. And he starts in a very humble way, if I understand correctly, as well.
Max Dillon has very humble beginnings.
Yeah. Now, as far as Peter's parents and that storyline, which was it started in the first film, but we kind of didn't get a resolution to it. Are we getting back to that?
Well, you'll just have to see the movie, won't you? But there are questions that were raised in the first movie that will be answered in the second movie, yes.
Okay. And in terms of Gwen Stacy and Mary Jane, we know Mary Jane, Shailene shot some stuff and that was dropped. Can you just tell me a little bit about the thinking behind that?
I just really felt it was important to focus. I mean, Gwen and Peter's relationship is so fundamental to this movie and to these movies that I felt it was really important to just focus on that. And Mary Jane was in it for, a couple small scenes. It just felt like it was more important and more balanced to focus on that relationship.
Will it be recast at this point, can you say?
Oh, we haven't crossed that bridge, but Shailene's got a lot of stuff on her plate, I know. But we are such fans of hers. I can't wait to see Spectacular Now. I think I'm intimately familiar with that project, and I've heard she's so fantastic. So I'm really anxious to see that.